Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Posttopostpod podcast. With me, as always, is my co-host Chris Ronan. How are we doing? We skipped a week.
We did, and I kind of thought I was going to go on a little St. Patrick's Day bender, but I had one Guinness for the entire weekend.
Wow.
Actually, that's not true. I think I had a couple after my Sunday night pickup skate, but those don't count. That's not like going out and having some Guinness,
It's just getting hydrated again. From losing all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That just makes sense.
What about you?
Nothing. I worked, and then
you shuttled everyone in town though, right?
Yeah. It was bad.
Playing chaperone.
Yeah, pretty much. Sunday was the big day for everyone in Southie, which I didn't work. I got Sundays, Mondays off, but Saturday for some reason was apparently the fucking day to go in because holy shit, it was jam packed.
Yeah, it's a 3-day gong show, dude.
It was
unreal.
Insane. I guess I found out people who were doing it because I guess bars in Southie or whatever are closing early. Like they were still closing at like 7 or 8 o'clock or whatever. Meanwhile, Saturday, they're just, like, kind of normal hours, so everyone's just like, fuck it, we'll go into town all day Saturday. I was like, well, did not expect this, yet here we are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm glad you had at least a Guinness on you.
Yeah, I had one. I actually got out last weekend and played around at golf, too, which was nice. First time out there. I got the golf league starting up next month.
Getting back into it. Getting back into the literal swing of things.
Yeah, there you go. Nice little pun.
I like that.
I got one more regular season game for power play and then playoffs. And my Sunday night pickup, the last skate is this Sunday. They do like a end of the year championship game, but the Christmas Cup that they call it was a tie, so they're gonna redo that one this Sunday, and then the following Saturday they're doing like the end of the year Cup.
Yeah.
But I'm away that weekend because I'll be in Vegas for the Vegas Golden Knights game and a nice little bachelor party for my buddy Brian.
Nice.
So
that's pretty cool.
So yeah, and then after that, man, I'm really dialing back hockey.
Yeah.
I got Tuesday 6 a.m. and I got a golf league. That's it.
Almost completely retiring.
Yeah, I mean, I'll hang them up. I don't give a shit. not like I'm, at my peak or anything.
No, just it's ever so often,
Gonna go out on top and ride off into the sunset.
Yep.
Get a nice championship for power play.
Have some beers, just like relax. Kind of one of those. Are you into movies at all?
No, I am like the least movie buff guy you'll ever meet. When I took paternity leave with Emma, I watched like all of the classics. I'd never seen Star Wars. I banged all of those out.
Oh, I remember this.
I watched like a bunch of Tom Hanks movies. I watched Top Gun 2 for Tom Cruise. You name it. Started banging out good ones.
Did I ever tell you about John Wick?
No, we've never talked about it, but I'm not really like big into the action movies.
No.
I need like plot line.
As of recording now, John Wick 4 just dropped, and I've been all over it. There's 2 coworkers of mine that love it just as much as I do, and we've just been fucking just getting ready. I've been watching like scenes left and right, and dude, I just can't fucking wait. I was telling him just like it's just funny that Keanu Reeves, like the nicest guy on the planet Earth, plays some like soulless, gutless, like killing machine in those movies, but just so fucking badass. Like he does all of his own stunts. Like apparently trained for like over 3 months for this movie, but I'm like, I can't fucking wait to watch this shit.
Yeah, he's pretty badass.
Mm-hmm. I was telling you before recording, I was watching. Again, I was going scene to scene, just watching stuff, and there's a scene in, I think it's Parabellum, which is the third movie, where he's in some club, and they're like hiding each other, like shooting each other from like the side. Meanwhile, there's like 100 people just like kind of like around. The background music was on because of the club music. I'm like, why does this sound so fucking familiar? And then like I really looked into it, like, oh my god, that's the Vegas Golden Knights like intro song, and it was just funny to me because I thought it was just like, oh, just some random song. And I'm like, no, this song is literally called John Wick Mode by La Castlevania. Yeah, La Castlevania. I'm like, that's fucking sick.
That's
so
interesting. All right.
They come out with John Wick music. I'm like, that's fucking badass.
There you go.
Add that to the whole thing. So I can't fucking wait. I think it's Sunday. I got no one to go with, so I think I'm gonna go by myself Sunday and just watch it.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a movie guy at all. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not one to like enjoy going to the movies either, but I know my wife is, and I'm sure eventually, Emma will get into it too. But yeah, I've always just been like, yeah, I'll just watch it at home.
Yeah. I'll watch a show, half hour, something like that.
Less commitment to that. I think that's what it was when I was growing up. It's like 2 hours, 3 hours to watch a movie. I'm like, I don't want to do that, and I don't want to pause it and finish it another day because I'm like, what did I miss? What did I forget?
True. I guess it was different for me. I used to like skip school, like literally after lunch period, be like, hey, want to go to the movies? Cause
oh, nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We're already in Southie, so just like get on the red line, go to downtown crossing, and get on the.
You'd think we would have done that more, being right down the street from the movie theater in Braintree.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
we
you're
went to
like
Braintree
right
High
there
School.
now. I'm thinking about because we had to like literally leave school and walk all the way to Andrew Station, take the red line to downtown crossing, and then go there. But we did it, and I don't know. I think movies are just different now. I think COVID really changed shit around. Back then, like movies was like a thing. Now I can watch a little Netflix on my fucking phone, like all the movies there. Like they didn't really have that back then.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That and it's so fucking expensive. What was I watching? Me and two of our friends went to go see the Demon Slayer movie, and I paid for the three of our tickets, and it got to like $45 for the three of us. Like, whoa, what the fuck is this?
Not cool.
Nope. And then like you watch it. So if anyone's a Demon Slayer fan, just know it. Don't even fucking waste your time or money. It's literally the last 2 episodes of last season, and then like the first episode of like this next season. And they didn't even fucking bother editing it. So after like the second to last episode, they showed like the credits. Like then like the last episode of last season, they showed the credits. So just like literally just like copy and paste, like without really doing anything. I'm like, this is dumb. Why'd I spend $45 on this shit?
Yeah, pays to not be an anime fan.
Yep.
Fucking dusted. Dummied.
But I don't know. Would you rather spend $45 doing that or $45 getting fucking 2 beers at the fucking gun?
I think the entertainment aspect is different. Like it's more of like a riding the highs and lows when you're at a sports like or an event thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go into like the movies, like you're just kind of like enjoying the actual movie, you know. It's not like an experience. I'm a big like experience guy. I'd rather be out doing something than like sitting and enjoying something. If that makes sense. I don't know. They are a little different in my eyes, though.
That makes sense. You're really like strapped to the seat for a movie, whereas like the Bruins game, you could just kind of walk around, get food or whatever.
Yeah, and you're up and you're like, you know, interacting with people, like shooting the shit while you're watching too.
That makes sense.
Movies are like, shut the fuck up.
All right, well, enough a little catching up here. I want to get into some hockey news here. We got a few signings that I guess I'll start us into. 3 of them, by the way. So the Washington Capitals have signed defenseman Trevor Van Riemsdyk to a 3-year deal with $9 million, $3 million AAV. Should I just kill out the other 2?
Yeah, go for it.
So the Buffalo Sabres signed goalie Devon Levy to an entry-level contract, and the Colorado Avalanche have signed their head coach Jared Bednar to a 3-year extension. 3 big moves here, too. I want to go to the Devon Levy situation here. I was reading the comments from like when they posted this on like the Buffalo Sabres Instagram and the NHL Network Instagram. A lot of the fans are just like, we're riding on this guy. And I didn't realize how heavy they were riding on this guy till like you look at like their goalie history that they've had. Someone talked about them not having like a real starter in years, like since Ryan Miller. And if you go back, it's really been like, oh, yeah, you guys are kind of right. So I just hope this Devon Levy situation isn't like a fucking Carter Hart situation where they think this guy is, like, for some reason going to be their godsend.
I think the difference with the Flyers and the Sabres here is that they have, like, the all-star stud presence of Tage Thompson. They have a guy like Jeff Skinner. They have Alex Tuck. Like, they have a good group in front of the goalie, and I think that's really what's going to solidify it. Their D-core, too, with Owen Power, and I think that Dylan Cousins kid is, like, really going to start picking it up as well. Mm-hmm. I just think, like, this team is very well-built to start to rebuild, and I think, like, the way that this group's going to grow together is going to work out very well for the team in the long run. The only question mark they really had was goaltending, and, you know, now they got the guy.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
I mean, Hockey East, like, absolute fucking stud, so...
That's what I'm thinking, too. Like, Hockey East, like, Northeastern University, BU, like, these guys are just, like, they're meant to go straight from college straight to, like, the NHL. Like, how many guys you know, like, Spencer Knight, Thatcher Demko, that went straight from, like, Boston College straight to the NHL and just did fine, you know?
I don't know about made to, but, I mean, you see what's happened with Spencer Knight and the player assistance program that he's in now. Yep. But I definitely think expected to. Like, It's now this new standard that, like, if you're a stud, you're going straight there. You're not getting a sniff at the AHL. Like, we would rather you be thrown to the wolves and prove yourself.
Yep.
It's like we want to know what we have in you now rather than let you live there for a couple of years and get better. You know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of backwards in my opinion.
Yeah. It's interesting. A goalie is interesting. I watch a lot of like goalie training videos for like Staubers goaltending on YouTube, and you're training like this goalie Kent Johnson, and God, I can't remember the prospect for the Chicago Blackhawks, and I was like, ooh, I wonder where they are, and they're just like 3 years after like that video dropped, they just like retired, like that was it, like never like scratched the surface of an NHL. Like, some of them just, like, stop at, like, the ECHL, and, like, that's fucking it. And I'm like, it's weird how, like, goalies can just kind of drop, you know? Just out of nowhere. Like, they don't really get that shining opportunity. Well, we're going to be talking about a goalie later on this episode. That's going to be, it's going to be the talk of the town, just like Devin Levy here. But how do you feel about this Jared Bednar situation with the Colorado Avalanche, by the way?
Yeah, proven commodity. He's won at all 3 levels, I believe, potentially 4 levels. I think it's the 3, though. But, yeah, I mean, why not, you know? Yeah. Ride the hot hand, and worst case scenario, guess what? You can fucking can a coach. It's not a big deal. Whatever. Pay the guy. Fucking look at the Canucks. They're paying 4 head coaches right now. So
forgot about that.
Get it while you can. Good for him. I think Jared Bednar is a solid coach. I would say he is probably top 3 head coaches in the league. I put Cooper in Tampa Bay as number 1. I'd put Rod Brindamore as number 2 in Carolina. And I think Jared Bednar is number 3. I don't know if I'm leaving anyone off, but I think those 3, I would rather have one of those 3 before anyone else in the league.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, yeah. I'm going to be thinking about coaches now. John Tortorella. As a head coach, because you were showing me that fucking that hype.
Are you saying thing. He's in the top?
No. I'm just saying, where would you put him? I don't think he'd be bottom tier.
He's bottom tier, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think he's the last of the old school dinosaurs, and I think he isn't really going to be the guy to stick around for a long time. He's like another bring him in, whip these guys into shape, and then everyone fucking hates him, and you can move on to another coach after.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the plan with him. And it works, yes, but it's not going to win you a championship. He's the guy that's helping teams rebuild.
Okay.
Is what he is.
Gotcha.
Obviously, one of the best coaches in the world. I'm not saying he's
right.
A terrible coach.
He's gotten the job.
But it's just, it's not a Stanley Cup winning coach.
No.
Right?
No. You did right. Kind of like a whip into shape kind of guy. All right. Well, want to move on to some NHL news here. But before we do, one thing I did mess up on is Corona Premier is our beautiful sponsor for this episode and for the Postpost podcast. And we're both kind of chucking one tonight. So thank you, Corona Premier, for that. And let's fucking jump right into it here. So want to do this one?
Yeah, sure. The San Jose Sharks defenseman Erik Karlsson has set a franchise record for points by a defenseman at 84 points as of March 12th. Karlsson currently has 88 points as of this recording. Today is Friday, March 24th, for all you nice listeners.
Nice. Dude.
So, sorry we had to take a week off, too. I kind of just really wasn't feeling it last week, so I figured we'd give it a week. And I also did think that I was going to get after it a bit more, and, you know.
Nice.
I didn't. I ended up taking it easy, so sorry about that, everyone. But, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in myself for missing the St. Patrick's Day episode. But we're back at it. So, Erik Karlsson, I mean, what else can you say, really? We've been talking about him all season long. Career year, fucking record year in general for a defenseman, putting up points, putting the puck in the back of the net. Some of these highlights, too, dude. It's fucking ridiculous, the stuff he's doing.
But we talked about this before, too. The only problem with Erik Karlsson right now is his contract. That's it. If they're trying to sell high on...
I mean, hey, if he's the best defenseman in the league this year, that contract ain't too shabby. 10 mil, right?
10 mil?
Like...
Yep.
He's getting his money's worth right now. I mean, in years past and potentially in the future, we'll see. Yeah. But he hasn't before. But, I mean, 10 mil for this season, that's totally worth it, in my opinion, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
We did have a couple weird scraps here. So, Minnesota at Arizona. Ryan Reaves and Boko Imama squared off in what may go down as the worst fight in NHL history. This was fucking really weird. Imama kind of, like, lunges to grab onto Reaves and throws, like, a big right bomb, but just completely stumbles and misses him by like 6 inches. And the linesman ended up like jumping in before the two could even really connect on a punch, you know? It was just like, what the hell was this? Especially from those two guys. Like, you expect something better. Like, people are like licking their chops, ready to see something nice, and then it's like, oh, that's it? It
was like two different fight styles, clashing together that just like doesn't mix. Like, Boko just without Booker with like the standard like face off, like getting set and prepared for a fight. More so, just a guy just ready to fucking throw hammers. And here's Ryan Reaves, just a fucking veteran, just in general, just ready to set himself, figure things out, and then fucking start throwing hammers. And it just didn't work out and looked weird. Ryan Reaves at the when the rest finally came in, he's laughing like he's got to be like thinking like the fuck, this is like the craziest shit I've seen.
And Mama was pretty pissed at himself too for missing on that and like getting it all broken up. He's like, what the fuck? Like that's a blown opportunity there. Not a good look.
That would have been a weird fucking haymaker too from Boko. Like if he connected with Ryan Reaves, like
it was almost like coming over the top. Like he would have got like the top of his helmet if he actually hit.
Yep.
It was weird.
And then all Reaves would have had to do is just fucking clock him. That'd be
stand in there and eat some, you know.
Yep, that'd be it.
But not to be outdone, Minnesota at St. Louis a few nights later, the linesman made sure to stop another fight as Marc-Andre Fleury came down the ice and tried to go after Jordan Binnington. Binnington ends up getting suspended by the league for 2 games following, his usual bullshit on the ice. So kind of weird. I mean, we haven't seen a goalie fight, I want to say, since Thomas and Price. There might have been one after that. But
Mike Smith?
Oh, yeah,
Smith
Battle of
Cam
Alberta.
Talbot.
Yeah, that was the most recent one then.
Yeah, it was Cam Talbot, Edmonton Oilers then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
But Fleury's tried a handful of times. And he's always the one doing it. Like, he's always, like, coming down, just coming, like, refs, just let me fucking go, you know?
Yeah.
But,
I mean, in my opinion, dude, if the guy really wants to go, he should be able to get around the ref. Like, you can figure it out, too. Like, you don't need to skate directly into the linesman and be like, he's got me, I'm all tied up. Like,
right.
You're a fucking grown man. You really want to fight the guy and then fucking get off of him and go.
Now I'm drawing a blank. Who's the other goalie, too? It was the other week. We were talking about another goalie just coming down. Oh, it was John Gibson, and the goalie's fucking heated, too. Oh, it's fucking
It wasn't Binnington again, was it?
No, it was another goalie. This is going to fucking kill me. I think I'll look it up. But it was John Gibson, another goalie, and John Gibson was coming up the center ice. And the other goalie saw him in, like on his knees, like throughout the scrum that he had, and gets up ready to fucking go at John Gibson. And the refs are just stopping him, like, dude, they both want to go. Like, fucking let him go.
Yeah, I mean, someone online brought up a really good point about like one of the last big goalie fights we had was when DiPietro got his orbital bone broken in that fight against, it was Islanders versus Pittsburgh. And I think that was, like, the last time that they really just, like, let them go.
Damn.
Especially where they're, like, goalies. I don't know. Maybe it's because they think that they're, like, real goofy and awkward when they fall and might hurt themselves outside of that. I don't know.
DiPietro fact of the episode?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I was just showing you a Ryan Reaves situation, a interview with NHL Network. And Reaves really brought up the point, too, just like, what the fuck are they doing with fighting, too? Like, he's talking about the path that they're going down, which is they're trying to get rid of fighting altogether, and just the way, like, they're giving out penalties. I'm like, you're going to get those Crosbys, you're going to get those, well, I didn't say Kaprizov, but he talked about, like, the new generation coming in that, like, need those big guys to fucking, fill in the void. What am I trying to say? I guess
stand up for them,
yeah.
Skill players.
He goes, you're going to see, like, knees to knees. Those guys, like, the top brass players are going to start getting fucking hurt, and it's going to hurt the teams. And then he was just talking about, like, the head coaches, like, GMs are going to be fucking, like, screaming at Bettman and be like, we need these guys fucking back. And that's where Reaves was saying, he goes, I'm going to be gone, and then they're going to be, like, fucking calling me to get back on the bench. And I'm like, at some point, you have to bring fighting back. Like, it's part of the game. It needs to happen. It really does. And these guys want to do it. I don't get it. There was, like, so many fights that were, like, both players wanted to fucking go at it, and the refs were just, like, jumping in the way to stop them. Like, why? Like, this is what the game needs.
I don't know. I think, like, it's definitely a recency bias where we know that fighting works and it polices itself. But let's think about it like this, right? Like, the MLB, the NFL, and the NBA all run entirely smooth and fine without any fighting. Like, there's no guys that are, yeah, you get your dickheads like a Vontez Perfect that's just, like, out there to hurt people, but you're always going to have a guy like that. There's always going to be a Matt Cook in the league. There's always going to be a couple guys that are outliers like that, but they get hammered with so many suspensions and they lose so much money from it that eventually that's the deterrent. You know what I mean? It's like, at a certain point, you're not going to be welcome back into our league. So I think it's definitely, like I said, going back to my first point, a recency bias that we see that fighting works, and that's why we have it. But when you start from the ground up, I'm going to jump around our notes a little bit here. The QMJHL up in Canada is announcing that they are going to be completely banning fighting. So there's not going to be any fighting in the youth programs now as they grow up and, get older and merge into the NHL. So if you start at a certain age, you grandfather in the fighting for the older guys, and eventually there isn't going to be fighting, and the game's going to police itself in its own way. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be the players that are beating the shit out of each other to handle these things. You can get it done with the rule book, I guess, too.
You're right. You're fucking right.
I know, but it's like I don't want to be right about that.
Yeah.
Like, I think the game does need an air quote fighting. Like, you don't need it, but like the game is probably better with it in there.
Yep. Brings bums and seats. It's just it adds to the fuel of the fucking game. You know how
it's unique. There's no other sport that has it like this.
No other sport like that. Yeah, exactly. And like it's just the way the game goes. Like, it's like I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like third period, it's like 8 minutes left. You're down by 1. There's stops, there's plays, there's penalty shot, there's shot blocks. Like you're getting frustrated as a team with all these shot blocks. Can't get a shot by the net, and both you and the other team are getting frustrated. Here comes the hits. Here comes like some trash talk, and a fight just like adds to it. It brings all the fucking like noise and rumble to the game, and it really gets like a fire under the ass like both teams, and it just makes the game.
It can change the momentum for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. And like if you go back to like these old games, it's weird to call them old now, but like the 2012, like 2013, it might have been slow compared to now, but man, it was just fucking big hits. It was like fights, and it was like so fucking entertaining to watch. It was like it really was like a different brand of hockey compared to like 10 years later. It's nuts how what a decade can do to something. Like totally fucking different.
I do think the past 20 years is the greatest change that you've ever seen in the league over time. Like even if you're looking at like, call it 1900s to the 20s and then 20s to 40s, like the amount that the game has changed, it's probably the most drastic it's ever been because you've taken a league in the past 20 years, let's call it 2000 to 2020, with a line of entire guys that are out there just to bruise and protect and fight, right?
Right.
And you've made it so that your fourth line now has to be producing, and the top skill line is so much faster and better. You have game-breaking players when 20 years ago you didn't. Like you had, yes, a top line, but not one guy that's going to come in and burn all 5 guys because he's just faster than them.
Right.
So I don't know. We're going down a tangent, but
the last thing I do want to talk about is we talked about the fourth line. I was watching the Bruins Canucks Game 7. And they had like the full highlights on there too. And the Bruins had like their fourth line out there, and I was like, who the fuck are these players? Like the fourth line were just awful, like grinders, just like big dudes, grinders, like guys who just like these guys aren't fucking scoring for shit. They're just out there to fucking like bang some bodies, cool down or calm down like the other team from any movement. I don't know, just. But now, like, yeah, you're right. The fourth line now is just fucking. Look at the Bruins. Look at the Bruins right now as a roster. Their fourth line is fucking tearing it up. Was it Pavel Zacha's fourth line, right?
No, he's probably second line, the Czech line, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. What am I thinking then?
It was, I think, Frederick and Bertuzzi maybe are on the fourth line, because I think Coyle's your third line center.
Maybe, yeah. But still, like, they're fucking, like, producing,
Yeah.
I don't know. We did go down a tangent here, but I think, I still think hockey just in general needs fighting, and I think, the NHL needs to see that instead of just watching their own organization die.
Yeah.
That's my take. Hot take. But let's move on to Carolina Hurricanes. Forward Andrei Svechnikov is out for the season with a torn ACL. Svechnikov has already undergone surgery, and hopefully he'll be back in the beginning of next year. So a big hit for the Carolina Hurricanes, who are fucking unbelievable this season, by the way.
Yeah, they actually just clinched their playoff berth this week. They are 46-16-8, 6-4-0 in their last 10. Mm-hmm. I think that they are the clear team that is supposed to be the leader of that division now. I think they've kind of weathered the storm a bit where the Devils have gotten a bit streaky. The Rangers are still kind of piecing it together, but I think now the Rangers are starting to look pretty hot. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, losing Svechnikov, that makes them a little bit less scary in the postseason. I think he's a big factor for them in playoffs. He steps up in a big way.
Huge. But you're right. Just huge hit for the organization. But as a team all around, I think it's gonna be it'll be a hurt definitely, but I feel like when you have an all-around team like how the Carolina Hurricanes have been this season, I think they'll figure a way out.
I just feel like the one thing everyone always says about them is they don't have the star power, and they say that, but then you look at Aho and Svechnikov, and you're like, well, they do with those two guys, and now they really don't have it if Svechnikov's out, you know?
Yeah. Speaking about the Hurricanes, though, they reached 100 points last week in 69 games played, which marks the fastest in franchise history. So another just organization that's fucking flying through here. I was saying this. I think I guarantee you. I believe I said this like 2 weeks ago when we were recording. I think we were talking about trades. And I still remember talking about when we were doing the breakdowns of the teams that the Carolina Hurricanes are going to be fucking unbelievable this season. And they are. It's just weird to think that they are incredible, but for some reason being overshadowed by the fucking Boston Bruins, who are just like franchise-breaking season, record-breaking season. It's just weird to see. But if you take the Bruins out of this picture and look at the Carolina Hurricanes, you'd be like, wow, these guys are fucking unbelievable.
I just don't think anyone's even talking about Carolina, which
They're
is
not.
the wildest part.
Yeah.
Like, they're the only other team with over 100 points now.
Yeah.
I feel like the storyline has always been on the Devils this season because of how fast they came out of the gates. The Maple Leafs were crazy good, too. The West has kind of been a gong show, but the Golden Knights and maybe Colorado are the two teams that have, like, the spotlight on them out there.
Mm-hmm.
But just Carolina getting no front and center attention.
And with Seattle. Seattle's been pretty fucking good this season.
Yeah, Seattle has actually fallen down to the 4 seed.
Oh, shit.
5-3-2 in their last 10. I think it's just because the other 3 teams above them, very hot. 8-2-0 for the Golden Knights and the Oilers.
Wow.
8-0-2 for the Kings.
Fuck.
So they're fucking putting their foot on the gas now. Kings picking up Jonathan Quick was huge. Knights picking up Jonathan Quick was huge. We're going to get into that later on this episode. The Kings are hitting their stride proper right now. Mm-hmm. And the Oilers, 5-game win streak. Why? They're fucking starting to go, too. So everybody's starting to hit their stride. 10 games out from playoffs. Yeah. Kind of sucks that we missed a couple weeks right after the trade deadline, because if this Svechnikov injury happened, right before then, we'd be looking at a very different trade deadline.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You'd be seeing, a big name go to Carolina instead. Mm-hmm. But now they're just kind of like, how do we fill that gap?
Oh, yeah, now they're kind of stuck. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Fuck. Yeah, we're definitely, talking about the Kings, we'll definitely be talking about Quick a little bit later on. But, that
one's going to take a while. You just did it, too, the Kings. We're going to be talking about the Knights, right? It's going to take a while.
Kings, Knights, there we go. But, yeah, it's just...
I'm pretty excited. So... I think I mentioned it earlier. I'm going to Vegas next weekend for the bachelor party. We're going to a Vegas Golden Knights versus Minnesota Wild game, and it's on April 1st. You're getting close to the playoffs, but I'm really hoping that I get to see Jonathan Quick versus Marc-Andre Fleury. And I think those two teams are looking at that matchup as like a playoff implication kind of thing, where the Wild are fighting for the 1 seed against Dallas, and the Knights have it locked up in their division. So I really do think that they play both their starters there, and let's hope.
Let's hope. You gotta Jonathan Quick has been just on a fucking tear with the Knights here. I think it really helps to put him on a team that's like doing. It's weird how we're just talking about the Kings on an 8-0, but Kings just in general this season has just been okay compared to the Knights. And I was just saying like how well Quick has done with since being on the Knights, but. Speaking about goalies, want to just jump into this whole Tristan Jarry situation. For the Pittsburgh Penguins, Tristan Jarry is out indefinitely with the lower body injury, so we'll add some more goalie news to that too. Would you even say this is a fucking big hit? Is Pittsburgh out entirely now at this point?
They're not entirely out, but it's very close. Florida's in the 4 seed in the other division, which means that they could get bumped because of the way that the wild card standings are. So Pittsburgh has 1 point up on them. They both played the same amount of games, so they're really just fighting to hold on here. Yeah. I don't think the Capitals are going to get anything done. And outside of that, it's the Senators, So I don't know. We'll see. The Islanders are 3 points ahead of Pittsburgh. It's just weird. I don't think that really any of those teams on the fringe are a threat at all. Right. And for them to lose Jarry right now, that's a pretty bad timing.
Yeah.
You're going to need every point that you can get, right, if you're trying to get in. Mm-hmm. And in order to do that, are you going to really ride Casey DeSmith and give him no fucking rest leading into the playoffs?
Right.
That just guarantees, yes, you're in, but you're going to get bounced immediately because he's already tired going into a 7-game series against the same team every night.
Exactly.
So I think it's a fucking damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I think they're gonna, manage the load a little bit, but it's just gonna be if we lose with this backup in, that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
I feel like they might have not an easy schedule, but an easier schedule for the rest of the season. I'm gonna check.
Yeah, because we've already been getting news left and right of like teams already just not making the playoffs. So like they're already out now at this point, and no matter what the fuck they do, it's just not gonna.
So they got
work.
Capitals, Red Wings, Predators, Bruins, Flyers, Devils, Wild, Red Wings, Blackhawks, and Blue Jackets. So it's not bad. I mean, you really got to squeeze a win out of either the Bruins, the Devils, or the Wild, and the rest of them are all like. You should be able to get a win over those other teams. So if you can win one of those 3 games, I think they'll make the playoffs.
How have they been doing like the past 5 games,
Yeah, so their last 10 I can give you.
Okay.
They are 4-5-1. They're on a 1-game losing streak in air quotes. But yeah, I just think they kind of need a little bit more. Didn't they get an upset over Colorado? Is that the team?
They had some crazy upset.
They had a 5-2 win over Colorado. They had a 5-on-3 power play that they scored, I think, twice on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I think they got like luck of the draw with the power play and shit. So if you can take down Colorado, hopefully you can get one over either Minnesota, New Jersey, or Boston.
Was that the game where Crosby had that sick backhand goal?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Crosby needs to start doing more of that. I think he should.
Hey, Crosby's the one guy on this team that you can't really fucking say boo about. I think it's really about where the hell is our second, third, fourth line. Is anyone going to provide me some support here?
Just fucking something for the Penguins. They definitely need to do something this offseason, whether they make the playoffs or not.
I think this year was their like last hurrah, last kick at the can, and now after this season, they're going to be fucking offloading, trying to rebuild, and getting something going. They're going to be in the same boat that Washington is, where they're going to have to appease their top player, which is Crosby here and Ovechkin there, and say, no, we're not rebuilding. We're going to build around you and utilize you as long as we can.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like you see the moves the Caps are making at the deadline, they're rebuilding. That's the way I look at that.
Yep.
But sticking to Washington, if you're all right.
Yeah, let's do it.
John Carlson is nearing a return to the Capitals after suffering a broken skull, a severed temporal artery, and a severed ear from being hit in the head with a 90-mile-an-hour slap shot on December 23rd.
God damn.
It was nuts. There was a lot of blood everywhere. It was kind of scary. Carlson said, quote, "I just got struck by lightning. That's the only way to describe it. The pain was unbearable. I thought I wasn't going to make it."
Wow.
This shit was crazy.
Fuck.
But the fact that he's even coming back, dude, after breaking his skull, fucking your ears ripped off your head, they stitched that shit back on, like... That's fucking wild. Oh,
that's some hockey guy shit.
I can't even imagine that. And he skated off the ice.
Skated off the ice. Oh, fucking Christ! It just like it wasn't like one thing. It was like 3 things. It just like the more you talk, the more I was like, oh fuck, dude. So what was that? That was December 23rd, and it's March now, so 3 months. That's it. Yeah, it's been fucking 3 months. That's fucking it.
He's got a new soft spot on the side of his head.
Wow.
Well, 4 months. 4 months.
Holy shit. 4 months.
Yeah.
That is, 12/23.
Oh, no, you're right. 3 months.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
3 months. 3 months for a broken skull, and he's back. Wow.
He's nearing a return. He's not
nearing
back
a return,
yeah.
But that's pretty fucking crazy for 3 months, broken skull, and like, yeah, dude, I'm ready to fucking go. Some people break like their arm, and they're like, nah, I'm still gonna repair that shit. That's insane. Wow. Good for John Carlson. Hopefully he comes back. I hope for his sake, especially for like the NHL, like there's no like PTSD shit that goes on with that. Like if he's like someone's taking a clap shot, I hope he doesn't like have that like duck, and just.
It's definitely something you think about now because you've lived it and you know what it's like. So it's like, Jesus, I can't go through that again.
Yeah. The worst part, especially for hockey, is like the whole being scared and ducking thing because. One, when you duck, you're not paying attention whatsoever. I'd rather see the puck come at me than fucking not know where it is. And a lot of times when you duck, say if like someone tries to get the stick at it and rides up, hits you in the face or somewhere else, and just no go. But I'm just talking out of my ass right now. So I hope John Carlson, comes back, guns blazing.
Yeah, and I mean if he can get back before the playoffs, I think that gives the team another. If they can get in, if they can sneak in somehow, it gives the team another like revitalization of like a reason to try and push. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
try and win. But they are pretty far out as well. So we'll see what happens with the Washington Capitals. Got a couple of updates around the outside here. The NHL had a collaboration game with Nickelodeon, and I think overall it was like a huge success. Obviously, this isn't something that's like geared towards the adults, but I think in general it was well received by fans. They're trying to get the younger market invested and into the NHL, because hockey's kind of a tough one for kids to watch. I think it's not always guns blazing. I mean, this year it is now with the scoring being so high, but in general it's a tough game to follow. You don't know where the puck is all the time, all that shit. But the NHL used the chips that are in players' jerseys to track them on the ice and play the game as like cartoon characters versus characters from the show Big City Greens. This is similar to like the games they were broadcasting on the ice during COVID, but it was like a little bit of augmented reality flair. Pretty cool. I mean, obviously not something that like I would tune into and personally watch all the time. Right. But if I put that on for Emma and it was like Paw Patrol or some shit, she'd be like, "Oh fuck yeah, dude, that's what's up. That's my shit.
This is fucking lit."
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually really fucking cool. I mean, there's a lot of kids that play hockey too, so this is like it appeals to them too. So it's actually really cool, and it also brings in new fans too. Like as parents, like you might not even be a like fan of hockey at all, but say like your kid, just like it gives you something to do with your child, and just like just see it. Not only see it Nickelodeon stuff, but like it's also being introduced to hockey if they like it, if they want to figure out how to play it, this and this. So I'm glad it was a good success. I really am glad. I think they've been doing this for years too. I still remember like years ago, I saw this photo of was it the AHL? There were like two.
Yeah, they do SpongeBob night, Nickelodeon night, right?
Yeah.
It was like Patrick versus SpongeBob.
Yeah, that
and
was
the
it.
pants were all fucking like Patrick painted.
Those were
shit.
sick though. Yeah. I did like seeing those. So they've been doing this for a while. So I'm glad this is doing really well for them. It's really. What am I trying to say? It's really a positive spin on what's going on with hockey nowadays.
They did also announce that Fanatics is going to be the NHL's next jersey manufacturer starting in 24-25 season. There's going to be no more reverse retro jerseys, thank God, and the contract with Fanatics is going to last for 10 years. Why are you upset about Fanatics getting the contract?
I don't know, to be honest.
Oh,
I don't know.
You seem pretty distraught about it.
I did for a
second.
Well, you know why? Because I was reading what we put down. The no more reverse retro jerseys. I really
think
love
about
them.
how overdone it would have been next season. Like, it says like, Jesus Christ, we're doing this again. You don't think? Yeah. Like, how much more can they do differently?
Can they do? Yeah, right.
I feel like it should have been one and done, and then bring it back 5 or 10 years later.
Yeah.
And now they've like blown their load in a sense with 2 fucking full seasons of it, and it's like, I don't know. If they kept going, it would have been too much. But I think it's like something. Even if they made it every 10 years, like on the 110th anniversary of the NHL, 120th.
Oh yeah.
They're like, here's reverse retro.
Reverse retro, yeah. Okay, yeah, I see that now.
That would have been cooler, but they didn't fucking do that because they don't think like I do. So I should be the commissioner of the NHL.
That's right. All you other commissioners in the NHL, pull your heads out of your asses and hire Chris. Will ya? Fuck's sake. But that Vegas Golden Knights jersey behind you is made by Fanatics.
It is, yeah.
Found that when I was putting that up, and it's actually very good fucking quality.
I don't have any. I don't think I have any Fanatics hats because initially when they came out, like they had the commercials and shit, and I was like, this seems like knockoff, like shitty, because it doesn't have a name brand like Reebok, Adidas, right. Nike. Mm-hmm. I think Nike probably should have fucking sprung for the contract. That would have been cool.
Nike was part of the NHL for a while. Nike Bauer, Nike. They had I think it was just Nike skates that they had back in the day too.
Yeah. I just think that they should have made the jerseys because they just have so much.
They have so much shit. Yeah, right. But we'll see how Fanatics goes. But I guarantee you, it'll be fucking fun. There's like this whole shit with like, remember, was it during COVID they put on the ads on like the jerseys and shit?
Yeah, the word that people are scared about now is like with Fanatics getting it, maybe they will start selling jerseys with the ads on them, Because it's just more revenue dollars for Fanatics, and why not? That would kind of suck.
I don't think about I don't fucking want that.
Yeah. Hey, what if they make it like a $10, $20 upgrade to not have the ad?
Yeah, I'll pay that.
Now the fucking companies are paying for advertising dollars to have it on there. And if you don't want it on there, they're getting money from you to not have it there. That's a fucking way to spin that shit.
Scammed.
Yeah.
But you're right. I'd pay that.
I might. Yeah. I mean, $10, $20. I mean, you're already dropping fucking $1.50, so why not?
Yeah, what do the Bruins have? Don't they have like two? Like, is it Dunkin' Donuts and TD Bank?
They definitely don't have Dunkin'. I think TD's the helmet sponsor. I don't think there's Dunkin' on their jersey. I'm pretty sure. Did Pittsburgh get Dunkin'? There is a team that has Dunkin' somewhere.
I can't think. Oh, no, Pittsburgh is...
something with 3 letters.
Something with 3 letters. I can't remember.
Right?
What
like
it is.
AIG or fucking...
Some shit.
PSC.
I'm so used to it now. I remember when we first talked about this, we thought it was going to be like an eyesore, just like a fucking bad for the league. And now, like, I barely even fucking notice it. I do like the green. For the Boston Bruins, I get like it's like black and gold, but something about like the green on like the helmet like kind of works, kind of fits.
I wouldn't say it fits, but it pops. It catches your eye.
Yep,
you know,
it
you
does.
see it. You know what I always remember is the USA Olympic jerseys that have Chipotle on them. I always remember that ad for some reason. It's probably because I fucking love Chipotle, dude. I'm a fat boy special, but fucking that ad sticks out to me.
It worked. That's
right?
what advertisement is.
Yeah,
buddy.
exactly, right?
Fucking, they
exactly.
nailed it.
Yep.
They fucking nailed it. But let's move on. This is mine. So the Senators franchise is back on the news. We're talking about we've been talking about the Ottawa Senators this whole fucking season. But the Senators franchise this week, an unknown bidder offered $925 million for the franchise. The franchise is currently worth $800 million. To add to this, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Nico Sparks Group have been involved with buying the franchise recently. This comes after last month where Ryan Reynolds and Real Estate Development Group from Toronto put in a bid for the Senators. Reynolds recently sold his Mint Mobile company to T-Mobile for $1.35 billion. Going to bring that up because we're talking about him not having enough money to buy the franchise, and after that, we're like, ooh. At the GM's meeting last week, Gary Bettman said it's a matter of weeks before the Senators are sold.
Nice. I missed that part. I didn't know that a couple weeks and it's happening. That's good.
Yep. So get ready for the Rock Bottom or Deadpool to fucking bring in the Ottawa Senators there.
I think that the best timing for the league, if they can get this done, is right in between the end of the regular season and start of playoffs. If they can announce like what's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think no matter what, it's going to be in good hands, and I think that whoever buys it is definitely going to loop in, The Rock, fucking Ryan Reynolds, someone,
Mm-hmm.
Someone's going to be a face of this team because that is just marketing 101.
Yeah. Although everyone loves The Rock, I feel like Ryan Reynolds has to be the face, like the Canadian dude himself that's like was already putting in before he even had the money. So it's got to be it. Imagine like, oh man, I still love those. Someone did like a fan concept art of like Deadpool Ottawa Senators. Yeah. I was like, fuck, I'd rock one of those in a goddamn heartbeat.
For those of you guys that like football too, even if you don't like football, it's a really good show. It's called Ballers on HBO, and it's Dwayne "The Rock" as like a football agent in the NFL, and he's like a former player. It's just really cool. It's well made, and he's like dealing with all these high egos of players in the league that want to make a shit ton of money, and it's really good. I like that show a lot. So
I know what you're talking
check that out
about.
there.
I heard it was really good. I just never watched.
I like him in it too.
Are they done with the show?
I don't know. I watched like maybe 3 seasons, and then I kind of fell off a bit, but I could probably get back into it. I mean, he's doing so much shit. He's got his own energy drink. He's got fucking everything. Yeah.
I know he's been rocking that.
Yep.
Him and Kevin Hart thing too.
I mean, they're just in fucking every movie together now. They're the new fucking Owen Wilson and Ben Stiller, don't you think?
Yeah. It's wild to me that he's like left the WWE altogether, but like he'll still come back and the fans just fucking love him. Like, dude, fucking Rock's back. And like, how do you hate the dude? He's just one of those dudes.
I think he's one of those guys that no one hates.
No, you can't.
I think he's like fucking Shaq, like
you can't fucking hate him.
Like Charles Barkley.
No matter what he does.
Except I don't know if Charles Barkley's in that same category. I'll leave it at that.
Was that the one where I talked about the what was it, ESPN or whatever, where Charles Barkley's going after Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah.
What was it? Was they going after? Was he going?
I was thinking about the clip when he's talking about women in Houston.
Oh,
and that's what I was thinking of. Like, some people probably hate Charles Barkley. That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe I don't bring that one up, but Charles Barkley's fucking hilarious, dude. That guy fucking says what he wants to say.
You know what's funny? As you were talking about that,
Steve Harvey's in that group.
Steve
Harvey, Shaq, The Rock. There's 3 guys that nobody hates.
No, Steve Harvey's fucking great. But I was thinking about Charles Barkley too. That whole we talk about the TSN with
the panel with Biz and them.
That Shaq and Charles Barkley thing.
That's also a TNT booth too.
Oh man, it's so fucking good. And I feel like they really do kind of let loose, like the whole Charles Barkley situation. I feel like Shaq too. And I was just about to say, I'm like, I wonder if they drink like hidden on there. And I remember who did it. It was like, I think it was Charles Barkley. He found Shaquille O'Neal's water bottle, dumped out the water, and like literally just filled it up with vodka.
Yeah.
On the show, like literally recording it, took a sip, and like Shaq's face was like, just had to fucking like put it down. But it's just, man, they fucking nailed it. That's TNT.
Dude, yeah, both of them are TNT broadcasts.
Nailing it,
yeah.
huh?
They get a good panel going, dude. It's so funny. I like the one when he's like, Shaq's like talking about like, oh, I hate when people call me the wrong name, and Barkley's like, what do they mistake you for, Shrek? And there's a dude off camera dying laughing, and Shaq's like, the fuck was that? So funny, dude. Too good.
See, this should be like a real slap in the face to like a bunch of different like corporations,
uptight. Corporate like broadcasts. Like
No
you can
one-
get a little loose. Like, granted, like they're kind of over the line
Let
quite a
loose,
bit.
yeah.
Like it's not something that like I want my children watching all
But
the time.
fuck, it's like it's what the people want, man. Like this is you clip them, throw them on fucking YouTube. You know, you really get the people watching. Like I don't want to see this dude like in ties, just like, you know, straight as an arrow, just like talking like as professional as possible, because it's just boring shit. Like I want like loose cannons, just like fucking biz. I want some Pick Whitneys down his throat and just like have him like go loose on
The
Ryan
fact that
Reaves.
he's like giving it to the players too is so funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that whole Ryan Reaves thing where we're just like, I'll fucking fight you right now, and Reaves is just
I think like Leon Draisaitl was pissed at them too and like called him by the wrong name, and he's like, all right, Dion, I see you.
it's what the fans want. I don't understand. People need to. I think the old guys. They need to get off their high.
Yeah, we need some more storm surges too.
We do. Whatever, man.
Moving right along.
Moving right along here. So moving right along from that, we have our boy Jonathan Quick, who we said we're going to talk about a little later, and my man has moved up to second all-time in wins by a U.S.-born goaltender with 375 this week. Ryan Miller holds first with 391, so he's getting pretty fucking close. Quick is doing better with Vegas, as he currently has a 5-1-0 record, .908 save percentage, and a 2.93 GAA. He left the Kings with a .876 save percentage and a 3.50 GAA. So we come around for Quick here with the Vegas Golden Knights. It's cool that he was able to really settle in with the organization as quick as he did. So, little callback with the name there, a little as quick as he did.
There you go. Yep.
There you go. But yeah, it's really cool for Quick here. I fucking love that he's able to really fit in. I remember them had I remember when the trade happened, and you know they asked him about the situation, and I don't think Quick's ever been like at the spotlight as much as he was since the trade. Like Quick.
Buddy, he won 2 cups. He was the face of the league for fucking 5 years. What are you talking about?
I'm just talking about like interviews and shit. Like, when's the last time you seen like a full blown interview? With Quick?
Okay.
So ever since like this trade, the whole trade situation, I've been seeing more and more interviews with Quick, which I just don't remember.
I think it's just having a more active social media team in Vegas. Don't you think? They're gonna pump that up, pump that storyline up quite a bit, especially where Vegas is one of the front runners in the league now, leading into playoffs with a hot goalie.
Yeah, you're right.
That's going to be a storyline and a half.
But
for him to get another, imagine if he gets another one with Vegas. That'd be sick.
That'd be fun.
Or Fleury with Minnesota.
Nice fuck you to the Kings, you know?
Oh, dude. I feel like every team has to have one guy on there in the playoffs that's like, imagine if he gets one. Yeah. Imagine if he gets one more, like Kane.
Yeah.
Fucking Crosby. Fucking Ovechkin if they sneak in. Bergeron. Every team has someone that's like, oh, this guy's got to get one more. You know?
Yep.
And I think that's going to be like the fucking drive. You know? That's cool.
That's fucking cool.
The other thing about Quick moving over to this team too, he's got some familiar faces here. Alec Martinez won the Stanley Cup with him back in the day. So, I mean, the D core kind of listens to him. I bet like this is what he's looking for from us. This is how he's going to play the puck. These kind of things, you know?
Martinez with the cup-winning goal too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So yeah, it's definitely, you know, an easier transition than I think most goalies moving in. Mm-hmm. So that's good.
That might do. Yeah, that, and it's not too far from LA too. You didn't have to really travel.
Yeah, you didn't have to, you know, go across the country to Columbus and then double back. So you just kind of fucking 4-hour drive and I'm good.
I love how Columbus really treated him as like I don't know, like a person. Like, what you find out that Quick never even moved from like California. Like,
No, he refused to.
he refused to. Yeah.
It wasn't like Columbus's choice. It was Quick was, I believe, in Vancouver at an away game. Got the news he was traded like mid-game or afterwards. He's like, fuck that.
You.
I'm flying back with you guys. I don't care. I'm going back to Cali. So he flew back with them and then fucking settled it all out and said, I'm not coming over there, so you're going to have to move me.
Dude, imagine that. Imagine having like the ball say fuck you to like one of the worst teams in the league and then just get traded right back away to like one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, what are they going to do? You know, you could just sit out, not make the money, retire. See you later. It's your choice. You can get a pick for me or I can fucking hang him up. I don't give a shit.
Suck my ass.
Guess what? 5-1-0 now. I'm in Vegas too, so eat on that.
All right, well, speaking of traveling, let's move on here to Montreal. So the Montreal Canadiens, Juraj Slafkovsky, traveled back to Slovakia last week to finish his high school final exams as an NHL player, which is actually an interesting story for Slafkovsky. Yeah. Did we ever find out if he even passed?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I assume he did. I wouldn't fucking... If I were him and I wasn't going to pass the test, I wouldn't even fucking go back for it. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm not confident that I'm like, I'm going to get this done, like, you've been out of school, you know what I mean? You're getting some education, obviously,
right.
But, I mean, he's only 18 years old, too. That's kind of nuts when you think about it. I think he's like not late birthday, but like March 30th. He's like kind of right in the middle. So he just is going to be turning 19. Going to get his high school degree. Like, good for him continuing his education.
That's awesome.
It's something that you don't usually see in a lot of these professional athletes, you know?
Nope, not at all.
We do have some Edmonton Oilers news here, too, a little update. Connor McDavid is the first player to reach 130 points since Yager and Lemieux both did in the 1995-1996 season. This guy is something special, and I don't really have anything else to throw in there because we talk about McDavid and Ovechkin and
Pastrnak
and DiPietro every week.
DiPietro and just Ottawa Senators and Vancouver Canucks and just the list goes fucking on and on. But I put this in here. I wasn't too sure about it, but Edmonton Oilers news just in general. But as of it's now March 25th. Well, we started this podcast. We started recording on March 24th. So March 24th marked the 1 full year since Ben Stelter's big night with Edmonton Oilers. I can't believe 1 year fucking flew by that quick. That is insane to me. Who posted that? Edmonton Oilers posted that on their Instagram today. I was like, what? It's been a year already? It's just insane to me. So it's cool that he's still in the minds of like these guys too, to have like a post like that too. Just really shows you how much Ben meant to the team and organization and everything. Sure. So I thought I'd just throw that out there for everyone too, because I was just as shocked as might be everyone that heard me say that. But moving on, we have Pittsburgh local man from Hingham, Mass. Brian Boyle has announced his retirement from pro hockey at the age of 38. And is joining NHL Network as an analyst. Boyle has played 871 games, scoring 141 goals and 252 points in his career. Boyle was drafted 26th overall by the LA Kings in 2003. His longest stint with any team came from 2009 to 2014 with the New York Rangers, where he appeared in 355 games. He also played for the Tampa Bay Lightning, Toronto Maple Leafs, New Jersey Devils, Nashville Predators, and Florida Panthers. In 2018, Boyle won the Bill Masterton Trophy for his perseverance following his battle with chronic myeloid leukemia. The Bill Masterton Trophy is awarded annually to the National Hockey League player who best exemplifies the qualities of perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to ice hockey. It is named after Bill Masterton, the only player in NHL history to die as a direct result of injuries suffered during a game. So, big come up for Brian Boyle here. I think for such a guy that's had like a crazy, crazy career in the NHL, that's bounced around teams and knows like organizations, knows more than one organization. I think we'll have a lot to offer as an analyst.
Yeah, and the fact that he overcame cancer, I believe, too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. And to come back and play, you know, a solid NHL career afterwards and more games than you know, the average fucking third, fourth liner will end up playing in their career. Just fucking crazy to see guys battle back from something like that. It's always, the most impressive thing in the world to me because, we lose family members every year. Everybody knows someone who they've lost to cancer, and to be, an athlete and overcome something that can literally, have that much wear and tear on your body that you can't even, perform normal everyday functions. To compete with, the top athletes in the world after something like that. That's just unbelievable. It's got to be one of the most impressive feats in the world, I think. That's up there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, to go from like zero energy to like now you can compete with like pros. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
It's a major comeback story.
Oh yeah,
it's cool. So that's off to him.
So other news here. I feel like this has been a goalie episode, but that's how I like it at least. So for the AHL, goalie Dustin Wolf currently leads the AHL in wins with 35. Shutouts with now 6.
No shit, huh? You got another one?
He's got another one.
Wow.
Yeah. He's got a 2.22 GAA, .928 save percentage in 47 games played, with 270. Sorry, that's not 200. That's 2,761 .31 seconds or minutes played. And he's also faced 1,426 shots for the Calgary Wranglers. This dude has just been unbelievable. So he's faced the most shots just like in the AHL. So this is just getting fucking lit up like in the AHL and is still fucking standing on his head. So the 7th round pick and the 214th overall for the Calgary Flames in 2019 is having back-to-back insane years. Last year, he was